In this video, I'm going to show you how to paint the little nubby feathers around a bird's eyes and down its neck. This is the reference that I'm working from, and I'm zooming in so you can see some of the texture that we're going for here. This is the main brush that I'll be using. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I love these small little round brushes. This is Silverwhite's 5/0 short handle round brush. I'll add a link in the description if you'd like to get one. The first thing I'm going to do is lay down some strokes of ivory black paint. I'm not being super specific, I just want to get a little paint down in the general places where the darkest parts are. Now I'm coming in with some charcoal paint and I'm going to cut through some of the black strokes that I just made. So some of these charcoal strokes will be long, some of them will be sort of short and nubby, but the point is to make the feathers look a little more irregular. They're still going the same direction down the neck, but now there's a little more character. You can see little individual feathers starting to form. I've added a little more black paint and now I'm zooming in even more. Hopefully you can see. I'm taking the gray paint again and I'm adding extra detail, basically making Nike swoosh type motions with the 5/0 round brush to help sort of differentiate rows of feathers as well as continue to separate individual feathers. Closer to the eye, I'm using a technique called stippling, basically making a bunch of overlapping dots with different colors. I have several paintbrushes in my hand. One of them has black on it. Another paintbrush has this dark reddish gray, another has gray, and another has green. So I'm overlapping these dots and I'm getting a lot of subtle color notes right and around the eye where these feathers are really small and really nubby. I feel like stippling is a great technique to add texture but not distract. Like I want the viewer to be looking at the bird's eye and not necessarily the feathers around it, but to have a sense of feathers. I'll speed the video up a bit now because this part is kind of monotonous, but it is interesting to see how these dots sort of build up a layer of texture. Here's how the loon's head looks with this extra detail. I'll move the camera around so you can see the detail without the glare from the wet paint, and I will back out also so you can see how the texture becomes more subtle from a slight distance. Moving down the neck, I'm putting down the base color first, which in this case is black, and then I'm taking my brush with green paint and I'm doing a bunch of short brush strokes. As I'm doing these short brush strokes, I'm pressing gently into the canvas with my brush because these feathers are subtle and I want them to blend in with the black background. Here are those feathers finished, and I'll zoom out so you can see how subtle they become. I hope you enjoyed this demo. Feel free to ask any questions below.